Carissa Pavlika, TV fanatic.
Hi,
So
Carissa.
I'm a huge fan of travelogues with buddies, and I'm wondering, Sam, how did Men in Kilts come about?
Yes. Well, I think both of us had an idea to create a TV show about the Highlanders, about Scottish culture. I obviously had seen from Outlander the enthusiasm and interest in Scotland. And then Graham and I were chatting in Los Angeles over a cafe latte and a beer. And yeah, we realized that we both had a similar interest. And from there, we decided, could we do a podcast? We wanted to create some IP around it. And then I quickly realized, we had all the access to a great crew and great locations in Scotland, and why not do this for ourselves? So we shot over a number of weekends in Scotland. We shot a sort of pilot series or pilot episode, which thankfully Stars and Sony loved and picked up.
Graham, I thought maybe you were being punished for something you had done in the past for having to spend all that time in a van with Sam.
Yes. Sometimes I did feel like obviously I'd done something in a past life that was putting me in this kind of hostage situation. But it was actually really a very, very, very enjoyable trip, and one that because it was unscripted, it was able to have a real spontaneity to it when we were actually out on the road. And so when we were encountering those guests, the audience are encountering them with us. So it's so there was apart from we knew their names, there was no prep. We would just arrive and we would start talking. And I loved that about making the show. I really did.
And Sam, what's more exciting for you? Is it showing the fans Scotland, or is it going out there and learning something new that maybe you didn't even know about Scotland?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, I think just the excitement every day of creating our own TV show, but also not knowing what's going to happen, it really is enjoyable to me. I think just going out there and exploring and meeting these characters and seeing the scenery, as Graham said, it is totally unscripted. We knew who we were going to meet and where we were going, but apart from that, we were kind of left to our own devices. And I think just that spontaneity and that creativity really was very rewarding for us. And hopefully, people enjoy coming along on the ride with us as well.
And Graham, the competition between you two kind of unfolds surprisingly. Everything that you do, it's a competitive nature. Did you build that in, or was it just a natural progression?
Sam is very competitive. Anybody who knows him will tell you this. And I am competitive. I like to win at things if I can, but I'm not that bothered if I don't. But it gave me, I have to say, enormous pleasure to beat Sam in those events. I was childishly pleased.
He was desperate. He was desperate to beat me, and he says he's not competitive. I mean, if I have something, he has to have it, and it was just so fun to have this little bet. And obviously, the outcome was unfortunate. I let him win, obviously, because I was desperate for a swim.
I was going to say, yeah, did you let him win just for the fans so that they have something to look forward to? Absolutely.
Of course. And I was in need of a bath anyway, so it was, yeah.
Was that cold? I assume it's very cold water.
Very.
I mean, normally when people go in the North Sea, they're wearing a thick wetsuit. The next stop is Greenland or Antarctica, the Arctic. So it's freezing cold. It is very, very cold. And he made me go in there longer than I should have.
Yes, I made sure the tide was out so that he had further to go.
It was.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now that you've conquered Scotland, are you going to do more of Scotland, or have you considered perhaps other locations?
Yeah, we'd love to do. I mean, definitely there's a lot more to do in Scotland. But the Scottish influence abroad, America, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, even Brazil, those are places that have a huge Scottish presence and have their own stories to tell in relation to the Scottish experience. So yeah, we would love to do that.
It just depends if we can cycle that far, really.
You see, on a tandem to Canada. No,
It's a long way, isn't it? Yeah.
it is a long way when the person on the back isn't pedaling.
What about a pedalo? Those
I'm
boats
surprised you haven't
pedal.
suggested that before, actually.
Yeah, I was trying to get one, but none of them were seaworthy. So
a pedaler.
Thank you guys so much. I appreciate talking with you. I can't wait for people to see it.
Thank you very much.
Thanks so much, Krista.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.